Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Crisco's Corner. Fox News. Representative Ted Lieu explodes at witness who referenced Harvard anti-Asian discrimination case during hearing. Lieu furiously accused the witness of deflecting from the topic of the hearing. You know what? You got to have... Well, first of all, Ted Lieu is on the pinnacle of stupid, hypocritical, Democratic progressives. These people have absolutely no shame, no honor, no respect for anybody else but themselves and their own power and their own control. These people are dangerous. And Ted Lieu is purposely, he's on the hierarchy of despicable. Let's read on. Sometimes it's hard to form the words to describe some of these mental pygmies. Representative Ted Lieu of California had an explosive exchange Thursday with a witness who cited alleged discrimination against Asian Americans in Harvard University's admissions process during the congressional hearings on diversity in federal courts. Well, you think maybe there's a lot of judges on the federal benches that came from Harvard? Maybe. Already, Yale University has admitted outright that they discriminate against Asian Americans in their college. Do you think there may be a whole bunch of judges that went to Yale and Harvard, top Ivy League schools that are now trash? You know, I saw a video a while back when Ben Shapiro went to UCLA, I think it was. And he used to go back and forth with his professors. And, of course, Ben, is a conservative guy, and they were all liberal. In fact, one liberal professor wrote him a good reference to get into law school. So they respected him even back then. But then in UCLA, when they go to take the test, your name isn't on it. The final test, it's a number, and nobody knows who it is. So he said, I sounded like Ronald Reagan during the lectures, back and forth with my professors, but during the test, I wrote like Karl Marx, so I get a good grade. I think that's a hell of an idea. UCLA is exactly some backwoods community college somewhere. I think all colleges should do that. On their final exams and in their papers, they should just have a student number or a number for an individual. They have no idea who it is, and they grade the test accordingly or the papers accordingly. Or the whatever they're doing in that particular course, i.e. write a paper on X, Y, and Z. The professor or the people that are marking the test should have no idea who that student is. And that gets around this diversity crap, this political what side of the aisle you're on crap, and the fact that you're going to give better grades to a certain group over another group, which is crap. Let's read on. The exchange occurred after Peter Asano, a labor attorney and member of the United States Commission on Civil Rights. He's an attorney on the United States Commission on Civil Rights. I mean, come on, the Representative Lieu. He told you something you didn't want to hear. Referenced the ongoing legal battle involving a group that has accused Harvard of discriminating against Asian Americans on the basis of race. The remark drew a strong rebuke from Lieu, who accused Cursado of deflecting from the topic of the hearing. These guys got a serious set of balls. Either one of two things. They're sociopaths, or they're so self-unaware of what they say and do that it's mind-numbing. If there's discrimination, it's discrimination against Asian Americans, Cursado said. In fact, just yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I filed a brief in the Students for Fair Admissions Harvard case in the Supreme Court. Here we go. Ted Lieu yells at Peter Cursano when he mentions one of the foremost examples of anti-Asian discrimination right now at Harvard. The topic was he thinks there wasn't enough Asian Americans on federal courts because of discrimination. Why? Well, I went through this the other episode with Senator Duckworth and Hirano. I think between the two of them, you probably couldn't make an IQ of 100. But the fact of the matter is, I explained what a progressive application looks like. Race, sex, gender, all the liberal organizations you belong to, and then all your references and names at the end. All they care about is what race you are and what sex you are. Or what gen you are that particular day, because tomorrow it could be different. Stop bringing in irrelevant issues, Lou. It erupted at Cursano. There are more Asian Americans at these Ivy League schools. In the federal judiciary, they're underrepresented. And there you have it. These morons, that's how they think. They think that having Asian Americans on the court will give a different perspective. And that itself sounds pretty innocent, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. No. They think that all races, depending on Asian Americans in this case, think alike. Just like all Hispanics think alike. And of all the minorities in the United States, the Latino or Hispanic community is probably the most diverse as far as political views go. Just like the rest of the population. Duh. In the federal judiciary, they're underrepresented. Yeah, because we'll say 17.3% in this country are Asian Americans, so the judges should be 17.3. Those are quotas. It's evil. There are different issues happening. So just answer my question about Asian Americans in the federal judiciary or minorities in the federal judiciary because it's underrepresented. How about it's underrepresented, morons? Because Yale and Harvard won't admit thousands upon thousands of Asian Americans. The hearing before the House Judiciary Committee was titled "The Importance of a Diverse Federal Judiciary." I'm telling you, folks, this diversity is evil. It splits up people into nice little boxes. People can't come together. People coming together would be the doom of the Democrat Party. Rosano said he agreed with Lou's point regarding the dearth of Asian American judges in federal courts. The attorney argued his point about the Harvard case was relevant because there was discrimination in the pipeline of candidates to those courts, which has eroded confidence in the institutions. I don't think that's true. I really don't. These appointments are vast majority of the time, extremely qualified people. Now, their political views, unfortunately, a lot of them, especially if you're left or progressive, clouds your legal judgment. But that's another story for another time. It's precisely why I say we must avoid at all costs the perception that decisions are being made on the basis of race. Ding, 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 ding. The perception that decisions are being made on the basis of race. He's saying 73% of the federal judges are white. They were picked because they were white. So to make it fair, we're going to pick judges based on a race. Asian American in this case. And that makes it okay. These people are so effed up, I can't even tell you. When you look at the correlative with how decision-making is made through the admissions process, it appears as if decisions, in large part, are being based on race. Lou dismissed Cursano's explanation. Study statistics show 73% of judges were white males. Okay. So where are they screaming and hollering that the NBA has too many black players? Or the NFL has too many black players? Or the NHL has too many white players? Because the United States will say, I believe it's 17% of people are black. That means that everybody on the hockey teams that play in the United States should be 17% black. This is their logic. All right, fine. That means only 17% of people in the NBA can be black. But somehow that doesn't work. The reason they can't talk about the federal judiciary and you keep going to the college issues because you know you have no basis on the issue of the federal judiciary, Lou said. This guy, if these people weren't in charge, I don't know what they would do. I really don't. And a lot of them are very highly educated and college graduates plus law school. I don't know. It just needs to be more diverse. And that's it, because I said so. It's corrosive to America to have an entire third branch of government which people were selected on the basis of them being white. And that, if that's true, and he's pissed off about it, how can you possibly defend your position by saying we're going to pick people to replace them by race? It's insane. The argument has absolutely no merit and no foundation. In February, Students for Fair Admissions, a group that sued Harvard for alleged discrimination, petitioned the Supreme Court to ban consideration of race during the college admissions process. The filing came months after a federal appeals court determined Harvard's limited use of race in admissions did not violate existing precedents. Rosano said he filed a brief in support of the petition. Your race should not come up at all. Period. Applications for employment, I don't care where it is, should not have your race. Period. So we have perceived racism in the federal courts that 73% are white. And he says that automatically means that's racism. So what we're going to do is we're going to dismiss judges, or as they're appointed, bring up Asian Americans, and we're going to pick them based on race. And that's okay. These people are back crap crazy. And here's the two scary things that I want you to think about. One, these morons are in charge of our country. And number two, these morons are winning. If that doesn't scare the hell out of you, then you know what? This country is doomed. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.